Let's rewind to July the 26th, 1184, in Erfurt, a bustling city in what's now central Germany. King Henry VI, an 18-year-old powerhouse who'd later become the Holy Roman Emperor, called a Hoftag, an informal assembly of the empire's elite. The goal? To squash a nasty feud between two heavyweights, Landgrave Louis III of Thuringia and Archbishop Conrad of Mainz. This wasn't just a petty argument, it was a land dispute threatening the empire's stability. Dozens of nobles, from counts to clergy, packed into the second floor of a building at the Petersburg Citadel, likely the deanery or bishop's residence. The room was buzzing with anticipation, but nobody checked the aging wooden beams holding them up. Big mistake. Nobles, in their fancy tunics, were arguing over castles and taxes, with Henry VI presiding like a medieval referee. Suddenly, a creak, then a groan. Before anyone can react, the second floor gives way under their combined weight. Beams, rotten from years of neglect, snap like twigs, but it gets worse. The falling nobles and debris smash through the ground floor too, plunging straight into the cesspit below. A stinking, toxic pit of human waste that served as the building's latrine. This wasn't a modern bathroom. Medieval sanitation was just a hole in the ground, collecting everything in a festering soup of filth. The smell alone must have been a punch to the senses, but now scores of nobles were drowning in it, suffocating from noxious fumes, or crushed under splintered wood and flailing bodies. It was chaos, pure, horrifying chaos. And the death toll? Sources argue, but most would say around 60 nobles perished, though some claim up to 100. We're talking prominent figures, counts of Abenberg, Schwarzburg, Kirchberg, Wartburg, and more. Men of power and prestige, reduced to a gruesome end in liquid excrement. The Chronicle of St. Peter's Church in Erfurt lists names like Frederick I of Abenberg and Heinrich I of Schwarzburg, but many lesser names went unrecorded, their fates sealed in that putrid pit. Miraculously, King Henry VI survived, clinging to a stone window alcove with Archbishop Conrad. Both were rescued by ladders as the room dissolved into pandemonium. Louis III, the other key player, also made it out, though probably not without some serious trauma and a need for a long bath. For medieval nobles, honor was everything. Dying in battle, heroic. Drowning in a cesspit, not so much. It was the ultimate humiliation. These were the elite, the 1%ers of their day, and they met a fate so undignified it's almost darkly funny. Almost. The Erfurt Latrine Disaster lays bare the harsh realities of medieval life. Sanitation was a joke. Open cesspits under buildings were standard, even in fancy places, like the Petersburg Citadel. The irony? This meeting was meant to restore order, but instead it unleashed a literal shitstorm, claiming the very people Henry VI needed to keep his empire in line. It's a stark reminder that even the most powerful weren't safe from shoddy infrastructure. The Erfurt Latrine Disaster faded into obscurity, overshadowed by battles and crusades, but it left a mark. It sparked early discussions about sanitation and structural safety, though it'd be centuries before proper sewers or building codes existed. The feud between Louis III and Conrad? No record says it was resolved. It's hard to negotiate when you're scrubbing sewage off your robes. So, the next time you're in a crowded room, maybe give the floor a quick check. What do you think? Could you imagine surviving this mess? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this dive into history's weirdest tragedies, hit that like button and subscribe for more Portals Through History. Until next time, stay safe and maybe steer clear of old wooden floors.